Ah, lemon face.
Lemon face. Ah! No, lemon face. Damn it, how'd that go? You squeeze and then you roar, right?
Yeah, squeeze and roar.
Oh, okay, lemon face. Squeeze! Lion face. Ah!
We're recording.
Oh, is this from Zoolander?
We're recording now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DarkMatch. As usual, I am your host, Mr. War Machine, and I didn't fuck up the intro. Woo!
Yay!
Hooray!
I win today.
Iron Bite fucked up his cue.
No, it's your cue
you
next.
fucked up your cue.
No, it was War Machine, then Iron Bite, then me.
No, it's you, because Iron Bite's doing a tweet. It's you, goddammit!
Well, ignoring my abusive boss, I'm Magpie, and I'm working under horrible working conditions.
Oh, shut up.
And I'm Iron Bite Dash. And this is what is Iron Sheik tweeting now. You the boss! No, I am the fucking boss! I am the real Iranian legend master, not that fucking cocksucker, Tiger Woods! What is his issue with Tiger Woods now?
Gets a lot of pussy?
Oh, I mean, you know what? Sheik is insane, but at least he's amusing insane, unlike what we had to watch on Thursday. But we're not here to talk about Thursday. We're here to talk about Monday Night Raw and Friday Night
SmackDown.
With less anal bleeding than before.
Whoa, okay.
You know what? That was just such a stupid comment from Michael.
You didn't hear that last week?
No, I didn't watch SmackDown last week.
It was on
Raw. Apparently, Jerry the King Lawler, after getting attacked by Mark Henry, suffered a case of anal bleeding.
From the world's strongest slam through the table.
Are you...
I am not bullshitting you. They said that on TV. And we all went, wait, what?
Not only did we
no
go.
way. There is no... No.
Not only did we go. No, wait. What did he just say? The entire WWE universe, I hate using that term, but I'm going to use that term. The entire WWE universe, the entire TNA universe, ROH, the White House, everybody for 1 second stopped, looked at Michael Cole, and went, what?
Michael Cole had to... Jesus.
You missed Michael Cole saying anal bleeding. And on that note, going from anal bleeding...
And when I saw this on Twitter, I saw Michael Cole underneath anal bleeding, and I was like, what the hell is going... And then he said the comment...
It's an appropriate comparison when you think about it.
Yeah, it was just...
You know,
but that was last week.
To say, there is something to be said for a man who can cause anal bleeding just by slamming someone through a table.
I gotta check if his anus is bleeding. Move him!
That's a man you don't want to mess with.
You know when King felt the wet stuff down there, he thought, did I shit myself?
No, it's anal bleeding. But
anal bleeding aside.
This is the show just after Hell in a Cell. And also tonight we are going to deal with the group of Otunga's lawsuit, because I don't care about anybody else in that group. In fact, I don't care about Otunga.
We'll get to that shitty angle.
We'll get to that shitty. But there will be a 12-man tag team match as your main event, and we'll get to that in a bit. But we start off the night with a Randy Orton match.
Which, again, this harks back to the things I complain about, where why can't we just start off with a match? And to see them starting off with a match is great. And Randy Orton tonight is being billed up against jobber entrance Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
I guess we know who's going to win.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre wins with an amazing display of his brand new finisher, which involves midgets that don't result. No, okay, Randy Orton wins if you can't, guys. If you can't.
Ooh.
And to be fair, Drew did look good in the match.
Yes, he looked very good.
My only complaint about this is like comparing this match to another match that happened this night. Why couldn't Drew taken Mason Ryan's spot in that tag match? That would have been so much better.
Yeah, and you know what? The Mason Ryan's involvement in the 6-man tag match, which will happen later tonight, they could have just ignored him as well as Alberto Del Rio in that match itself, and it would have been fine as a 10-man.
I think if they honestly just would have got rid of Otunga and Mason Ryan on their side, way better match.
Maybe, but that's a matter of opinion. We'll get to that in a bit. Like we said, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton. Randy wins with the RKO. Randy put Drew over pretty good. He made him seem like he could beat Randy Orton, which is kind of saying something. When Randy Orton wants to, he will make you look like shit, and he did not in this instance.
Yeah, well, I would like to see this feud back for, like, say, the World Heavyweight title on SmackDown, but I don't think we're going to get that soon. But if they can eventually go back to that point where they get McIntyre as a serious contender or the guy who's just going to take it to the champion, I'd like to see that. Because they did it. Yeah. They did that with Del Rio and Sin Cara, and they did that with Danielson and Del Rio. So if, say, Orton, for whatever reason, gets a belt back, or whoever gets a belt, they want to make Drew McIntyre the guy who's going to take it to the champion, by all means, do it. He is the guy to do that.
Yeah. That's definitely true.
And speaking of champion,
yeah, after the match, Orton has Drew eat another RKO because why not? And out comes Mark Henry. And as we all know, Mark Henry retained at Hell in a Cell, much to our chagrin.
Well,
I'm dismay. I mean, go right ahead, War Machine.
I have to say, in the weeks of which I do not have to watch wrestling, in order to avoid getting burned out on wrestling, I don't. But from everything I hear, he actually is doing a fairly decent job as a monster heel champion. But I don't know.
My thing is, it's just like I'm with War Machine on the sense where if I don't have to watch mainstream wrestling for the week, I'm not going to. I'll watch other wrestling, but I'm not going to watch Raw and Impact because I don't want to get burnt out. I'll read what happens. I'll eventually see it just to be able to review another show, but I avoid it. Mark Henry, though, like, I have no problem with giving that guy the belt if this is his last hurrah, and let's have him have a moment in the sun. I'm all for that. Let's have him have a moment in the sun, but of all the people on the roster to showcase as a champion who are way more interesting performers and I think could do a better job, Mark Henry's given the belt. So me as a fan, I'm not interested in that sense. Like, is him seeing the belt is not going to make me tune in.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Even though I may hear that he's doing well, I don't care. Like, he's had 2 very good consecutive matches at pay-per-views. But Against Randy Orton. But, I don't know what it is. I don't care. Yeah.
Again, I don't have a problem with him being in the moment of the sun. It's just, it's not a wrestler I care about. Like, if Drew McIntyre was, say if this was like another universe where it was Drew McIntyre in Mark Henry's spot, I would care.
Right. The one thing I've got, we should talk about is Mark Henry is being touted as this unstoppable monster who will end your career just as look at you. And Randy Orton, in this instance, manages to make him look like kind of a punk. They actually have security come down because the two of them brawl. And Randy Orton manages to take out Mark Henry, even with 6, 7 security guards, and of course Johnny Ace directing traffic. I'm not sure why John Laurinaitis is down there when they could have just had security come down, but
I guess they're trying to make it. I guess if you want to argue, they're just trying to make it seem like if he's being hands-on, maybe it's like a subtle way for his character to be like, "Look, I'm there when chaos happens. Triple H isn't, but I'm there."
Yeah.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think, and yeah, never mind. Go on.
All right. So we go to commercial. We come back, and we get a very nice video package for Mark Henry's Hall of Pain, which, when you look at how many superstars and big names Mark Henry has taken out with that Vader bomb or that whatever move what's that move where he launches himself onto a chair while the guy's ankle is in it? I
don't think they actually have a name for it. I think
it's called I Step on His Leg with the chair stuck to it.
All right.
Yeah, it's ouch.
Christopher says, who by the way is celebrating his birthday today.
Yes,
happy birthday, Chris.
Says.
Yeah, but he called it Pillmanizing because
right. Well, there you go. Okay, well, whenever Mark Henry Pillmanizes,
and if you don't get that reference, fuck you.
Somebody's leg, that's been a very effective way of putting him over as this like super huge monster, and it's already paid off dividends. I mean, he took out Big Show, he's taken out Kane, he sent Vladimir Kozlov into future endeavors, and if you believe the rumors, also the great Khali. Well, Friday, and we'll get to this when we get to the SmackDown recap, Big Show's coming back. And they really focus this package on him. So
I'll comment more about the Big Show thing, but
right.
As things that come, like when my gripe about like Mark Henry being a champion is like opponents, and I'm gonna pretty much just poke on that, but this is the thing I'm talking about when I'll get into it later.
Right. Well, Mark Henry has a match with the other guy who's in the doghouse because of comments his woman said, John Morrison.
And match quality, though, this was good because Morrison made him look good, and Morrison had moments to shine himself. So.
Oh yeah, Morrison manages to hit Starship Pain.
I know.
And how often how often has John Morrison hit Starship Pain?
Defy hitting, because if you count his head hitting him, he technically nailed it like 4 times or 3.
Okay. Tell me, in recent weeks or months, has John Morrison managed to hit Starship Pain and put someone away, or just hit Starship Pain, I should say?
Couldn't count.
Yeah, exactly. You can count it on one hand with fingers left over, and this actually shows off how strong Mark Henry really is. He eats a Starship Pain and shrugs it off for a 2 count.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Try something else.
No.
A flip's gonna put me out? I'm gonna kick your ass.
And unfortunately, this enables him to hit the world's strongest slam, so Mark Henry beats John Morrison, and then...
As he should, because he's a champion, and you want to beat big names to showcase, so... in the booking terms of it, like you guys brought it up, I have no problem with the way they're booking Henry. It's just the wrestler they're doing that with. But yeah, I'm glad he won this match, and it was not that bad of a match. And again, to Morrison's work rate, he knows how to make an opponent look good.
Right. He then decides to imitate Randy Orton from previously, and Morrison eats a second world's strongest slam, and then Mark Henry gets on the mic. If you go to sleep during this, you can be forgiven. It's basically him talking about how Big Show's return is going to be the shortest in WWE history.
And that's another thing. If you're going to have him be like a monster champion, how about just not having him talk? I think that would honestly, I mean, he's talked before, but I think that would honestly be a lot more effective.
Yeah, because he's like a big, strong, brutish force, and he's like, I don't need words, I'm just going to kick his ass. That's what he do.
Yeah, exactly.
As an example, if sorry for cutting you off, but
no.
Mike Tyson, before he talked after that one fight and looked really silly, didn't really give interviews as he was climbing up. You only heard about what he did. You would only hear about how he knocked motherfuckers out in 90 seconds. And that was a lot more effective because it built up, kind of a mystery about him and such. Now, granted, it's Mark Henry, so that mystery's kind of gone, but you could still do a similar sort of thing with it if they wanted to.
Yeah, if you revamp it, you can totally just like reseal it as, you know what, he doesn't want to talk anymore, and that's believable in like the eyes of a fan or anyone with common sense. Like I could believe a guy just saying, you know what, talking never got me anywhere. I'm just gonna kick ass.
Yeah.
So it's not like too far off where you can be like, this is bullshit. He should talk.
Right. I would actually go on to say that the only times we should hear Mark Henry talk is when he's screaming something in the ring. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, they have the mic, the camera mic's sensitivity jacked the fuck up.
Well, actually, I would agree with that sentiment, but I'm sick of screaming throughout the entire week. We'll get to that.
Well, speaking of screaming, we go to the back where we get to see David Otunga, Dolph Ziggler, Vicky Guerrero, Christian, Cody Rhodes, Jack Swagger, and Alberto Del Rio with John Laurinaitis. And they say, well, we're frustrated. And Vicky goes, let's go out to the ring so we can make our case public. And Laurinaitis...
And right in this point in the show is when I really started to get irritated.
And Laurinaitis begins to text someone on his phone. Gee, I wonder what's going on with those texts. We go to commercial, and when we come back, everybody's in the ring. And except for Alberto Del Rio, he gets his own Justin Roberts introduction. And they're talking about what happened on Hell in a Cell Alberto is bitching about the fact that Miz and R-Truth jumped the rail and attacked him. Okay? And it's Triple H's fault.
Eventually it just gets into like everybody just stepping up to the mic and pleading their case, and it could all be summed up in, I want this done because it's unsafe and it's Triple H's fault. No, I want this done because it's Triple H's fault. No, it's this fault. Everyone picks up the exact reason why they're irritated, and my headache slowly starts to build. Luckily, though, exactly. Triple H comes up.
And Triple H says what everybody is thinking. Okay? He asks what happened to the WWE. He remembers a time when guys didn't take lawsuits if crap like this happened. They got back. They stood back up, dusted themselves off, and caved in somebody's skull with a sledgehammer, okay?
I mean, yes, this is a job. Like, these people, everyone in the ring, everyone in WWE and any promotion are paid essentially to get their ass kicked or expected to get kicked on a daily basis. Your job is to be meat, and you get punched and punished. And you do the same to another person. You expect to get your ass kicked. So it's like the credibility of, like, wrestlers whining about getting jumped, it's like that goes out the window for me. It's like, oh, great, you're really tough people.
And it's going to go out the window later on. Later on, we'll get to that in a little bit. So we're also told we're going to have some exclusive footage from the end of Hell in a Cell still to come. But we have a Divas tag match, and Magpie is now shuddering.
It's not that I'm shuddering. This was one of those parts in the matches where it's just. Okay, this wasn't the main thing that irritated me about tonight, but it was a close first.
It's Kelly Kelly and Eve Torres versus Natalya and Beth Phoenix.
Okay. All right. Natalya and Beth Phoenix. Good. Others
like them.
All right. I'm not of the opinion that every single Divas match involving any two other Divas with Beth Phoenix and Natalya, except, you know what I mean,
right,
is instantly going to be bad. I think that magic can happen.
Yeah.
However,
this was not one of those times.
Yeah, precisely.
Kelly just goes crazy. This was not a match. This was Kelly going insane.
No, she turned into full Will Ferrell mode, like in the other guys where Will Ferrell just starts to be the bad cop. That's what Kelly did.
Yeah.
And it was about as convincing.
Kelly just starts screaming no, and slams Beth Phoenix's head into the announce table multiple times.
Which, this is the exact way to put over your monster diva heels. Well, not monster,
right,
but your
exactly
diva of doom gets beat up by somebody that weighs, 125 pounds, like, soaking wet.
That's on a day she's eating a salad, by the way. It was just amazing to watch Kelly go nuts on Beth Phoenix, and that's the exact same comment I said when I was watching. I said, and I quote, "Wow, way to make your heel divas look strong."
Well, I think we all had that sardonic answer to it. I mean, anybody with common sense is like, "Wow, yeah, this is gonna convince me that Natalya and Beth can't beat up the divas and stand on top of the mountain." I already knew that fact because I had common sense, but now this really solidifies my statement earlier.
The sarcasm is strong with this one. So we go backstage again, and Triple H is talking to someone on the phone, and in walks Johnny Ace, and he wants an apology. He wants to an apology from Triple H because Triple H apparently punched him when he was going after Miz and Truth while they were handcuffed, and Triple H does not give the apology. In fact, he wants Laurinaitis to go get everybody in the locker room, and he'll talk to them out in the ring. Okay? And Ace, you better be there too. It was kind of intense. But we will get to that, because this is our actual main event. Triple H confronting the locker room. And we're going to talk about this when we get to it, because this is kind of dumb and kind of brilliant at the same time. But, guys, we got a Santino Marella match.
Oh, yay.
I was excited.
Who's his opponent?
Jinder Mahal.
So anything I cared about, which wasn't that much, went out the window again.
No.
The single thread I was hanging on just completely got plucked when you said Jinder.
Believe it or not, this was an okay match. It didn't go very. The hilarious began before the bell even rang, when Santino Marella was speaking Hindu, quote unquote.
Oh Jesus!
It was hilarious, and I love Santino. Santino wins with the Cobra.
Guys, fantasy booking, but I'm going to go ahead with it anyway. This is a match I really want to see, and I think it can use Jinder to his full potential. Okay, Jinder Mahal versus Bryan Danielson, and the stipulation is Bryan Danielson gets a flamethrower.
Sets him on fire?
Yeah.
I don't think that would be a fair fight, Magpie. I mean, from a psychology standpoint, that would be just... How do you work around a flamethrower? I don't
Well, let me explain Luso logic to you. You see, if the heel has a flamethrower and the babyface just has to deal with this problem, and he gets torched to a complete crisp, then he'll look convincing enough to beat him next week for the pay-per-view. You gotta think in smart Russo booking.
Smart Russo booking.
So, we go...
Pretty sure that was an oxymoron.
We go back to commercial. We go to commercial after that, and when we come back, we've got a little video packaging highlighting the monster that is Brutus Clay.
More monsters.
I'm actually scared of him.
Well, Brutus Clay is cool, but I'm just like, this resurgence of monsters. It's like, we have the Big Show probably going to be in a feud with Mark Henry. We'll get to that. And it's like, okay, now we're going to have another monster. And, Mason Ryan's back, so he's a monster too. You know what? Everyone could be a monster.
I'm actually kind of excited to see what they're going to do with Brutus Clay, because I actually want, and this is just me fantasy booking, I want to see him versus Rhino, because he reminds me of a Rhino, an actual Rhino, and I want to see him against Rhino, so we can legitimately say that we've seen a Rhino take on a Rhino in a WWE ring.
Or a walrus taking on a Rhino.
So we come back, and we're going to see a little YouTube video from The Miz and R-Truth. Now,
no!
No. This is them apologizing to us for what they did. However, I'm gonna. You guys go ahead and give your thoughts on this, and then I'm gonna just say a little something.
I'd rather talk about the main event. Go right ahead, War Machine.
Nah. I mean, I didn't care. I saw them, and then
they apologized. It was their heels.
I didn't care. This whole thing with them is really annoying. Like this, I think that we can get the point across that Triple H obviously can't handle Raw without all of this shit. But
it's like I don't have a problem with Miz and R-Truth both as wrestlers. Okay, as both as wrestlers or being in a tag team, I think that's good for them to be in a tag team. But for them being like the smaller part of a bigger picture, the bigger picture gets in part of the smaller thing I like.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the bigger picture is irritating. I'd rather just have the bigger picture go away and have these two just be a tag team.
Right. I wanted to point out something. While they were filming, wherever they were filming this, okay, supposedly it was supposed to be probably in the Miz's house, okay, someplace there, all right, or some hotel room. However, if you listen very, very carefully, you can hear what sounds like a couple of thumps, like tires were going over train tracks. I would bet dollars to donuts that they sort of filmed this in Randy Orton's RV.
That'd be pretty damn funny.
Because it's either that or and you could definitely see them reading off of the script. Truth more so than Miz, because, well, let's face it, Miz is he does not need a fucking teleprompter to tell him what his line is, and you could definitely hear the cut afterwards, and Triple H going, "Okay, guys, that was a great read. Take 5, everybody." But that's just my theory. Anyways, let's get on to the main event. The semi-main event. 12 people in the ring at one time, which never happened. Thank God they were on the ball with that. But
and if you would have subtracted 2 people from the match, if 10-person tag, it would have been better. But we still got a good match.
Everybody, and I do mean everybody came out strong with this. Even guys you didn't want to have come out strong looked very, very nice.
Everybody played their part really well, and that's what infuriates me about this, because we get a good match like this, a really good match, in fact, main event worthy, which it should have been, but oh no, the story takes way more precedent about this, so it's like...
Right.
It's just like it was just like the Bobby Roode versus James Storm match. That should have been the main event. That should have played out the show. I don't give a shit about the plots going on. I want to watch some goddamn wrestling.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, my rage is starting to boil over.
Yes, I know it is. This match lasted 40 minutes. Just so you know. They started it around 10 o'clock. It didn't finish up till about 10:40.
I mean, it was a good match. I like it. If it was actually 40 minutes and it went like that, that was cool.
Well, are we also counting commercial breaks?
I am counting commercial breaks because it's Raw, so it's live, so it's going to go through the commercial break.
Oh, okay.
It was. We had a couple standoffs, but there was never any point where all 12 men got in the ring at the same time. Okay? That never happened, which usually does during this match.
And that worked to their advantage because each wrestler's got to show off. I loved watching some of the superstars from not superstars, some of the wrestlers just work against each other. Like seeing Punk and Cody Rhodes work together, that was just fantastic. Right. I was already sold on him, on Cody Rhodes being a great wrestler and being an awesome IC champion, but seeing him go up against Alexis CM Punk, who is very much a master of his craft and to look that good. Mm-hmm. I'm very much happy about the future with that dude.
Right. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this match because it really did speak for itself. If you haven't seen it, go see it. That's very rare for me to say that, by the way.
Yeah.
The finish comes when everybody gets to. Well, Evan Bourne earlier in the match managed to hit Airborne on Swagger, but Vicky Guerrero broke up the pin, and that got her sent to the back, which was nice. Everybody got to hit their finisher except for Kofi Kingston was not able to hit Trouble in Paradise. He hit just a beautiful crossbody.
Although, if you notice the succession of moves, you just show, like, everyone's skill level, like, when they pull off their moves or their grand finale on somebody, like, you know, somebody gets a move on, and then the person who just did the move, that's the guy who's going to get slammed next. You see that, like, rapid succession of move going on, and everyone pulling off their moves, and they're looking good, and they have their own unique finisher. David Otunga just, like, gets Punk after an awesome GTS, and then, neck breaker. Yeah, he really invested time into his training.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if it's a little bit better than the frickin' standing spine buster, but
No.
really, go ahead, War Machine.
No, all I said was not by much.
Not by much. If anybody could deliver a halfway decent spine buster and actually make it look good, would be Otunga. But only if it's the generic, I go down with you spine buster, not the, I'm just going to throw you to the ground. Hey, that's a spine buster. No, that just doesn't work. Winner is Sheamus with the broke kick on Ziggler for the win.
Nice.
And another just exclamation points, solid match, and I recommend anybody to watch it because it was a really good match, even though, like, yeah. I make the comment about if they would have got rid of Otunga and Mason Ryan, better match, and I stand firmly by that sentiment. But
I'm going to agree with you on Mason Ryan because really he had no business being in that storyline. I would have actually taken out Alberto Del Rio because, again, this is something that he had no business being in. But
just like to have the bad guys versus the good guys, he's okay. Right. He's appropriate to be in there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, Mason Ryan is like I like Alberto Del Rio. So in terms of work rate and just having the best match possible, I'm sending him out there if I was the booker, and it didn't hinder it. And he does have an impressive showcase and very much good chemistry with these guys, Del Rio. Mason Ryan's special trick is I pick you up over my head and throw you.
Yeah,
David Otunga, I'm there.
Yeah, that's basically David Otunga.
Alberto Del Rio, WWE champion, good moveset, great chemistry. Right. I see no reason why he shouldn't be there.
Well, we've pussyfooted around it a little bit. Let's talk about the Triple H versus the roster promo. And when I say Triple H versus the roster, I mean Triple H versus the wrestlers, the divas, the refs, the ring crew, the announcers, everybody. And that includes Jerry Lawler, by the way, which surprises the fuck out of Cole. But then again, everything surprises the fuck out of Cole.
Anal bleeding.
This promo was kind of interesting, but kind of not. This segment was the only way they could end this was the way they ended it, which, if you haven't been paying attention, was everybody walking out on Triple H. But before that, what people said was kind of interesting. Okay?
Well, kind of in the sense that the locker room, the referees had no actual argument, and Triple H was just making these people look fucking stupid for wasting the time.
Pretty much that.
That was interesting. I like how they got Barrett to speak because Barrett's one of the best speakers among the people around.
Yeah, and then Triple H immediately points out that, hey, you guys, I'd like you all to be introduced to Wade Barrett, the guy who a year and a half ago led a group to try to take out Raw. Okay, you've got that going for you. Mike Chioda speaks out next. Never ever have him with a microphone ever again. And he's talking about how referees can't do their job. Okay, fair enough. There's certain superstars that do disrespect the referees on a regular basis. Beth Phoenix.
Suck it up. Referees get disrespected like forever. Again, another stupid complaint. And as far from like it being dangers of truth and Miz coming out, Triple H, and I hate to side with him, but had a point. I fired him. What would you want me to do?
Up next is Beth Phoenix. She has no complaint. Her complaint is, well, something could happen. Hey, Beth, did that really, the blows to your head really give you amnesia? Do you not remember what Kelly just did to you?
Well, I don't mind her shrugging that off, because Beth Phoenix out of those two in that feud is tough, so I can imagine her just being like, fucking, I don't care. She's like, again, 120 pounds, wet, and she just, like, gets the up on me once. Okay, fine. I'll shrug it off. I'm tough.
Again, that would have been at least a semi-legitimate argument other than something could happen, so all the divas are scared.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know that's where you're going with, but that's
where I was going. Last, but and certainly not least, is Lawler. And he points out that there's a conspiracy. He's the only one who does. And when I hear Lawler speak, it's like, yeah, there's somebody who does not want you to succeed. We get that, but it's not you paying the price. It's us. Which again, of all the arguments I heard, that's the only legitimate one.
Yeah, and to sum up, like, okay, legitimate argument or not legitimate argument? Was this all needed to tell this story? Did we really need to hear the referees talk? Did we really need to hear Michael Cole bitch about it? I mean, we would have heard that anyway, but did we
Michael
really...
Cole throughout the night goes on and on about how,
yeah.
I'm going to vote no confidence. I'm going to vote no confidence. I'm going to vote no confidence.
Right. Like, okay, we would have heard that anyway, but did we need to hear the ref talk? Did we need to hear the Divas talk? Like, I don't mind I don't mind the idea of giving the chances the wrestlers to speak and, like, get mic skills and time to shine like Barrett, but did we really need to, like, tell this... Do we really need to, like, devote this much time to this fucking story? Can we not just have wrestling? Can we not have a simpler story that didn't involve a second gunman or a Cuban informant? Could we just have a simple... No, not Cuban informant. It was a Kenny joke. But can we just have a simple fucking storyline? I don't like this guy. This guy doesn't like me. We're fighting. He has a title I want. I want that title. We're fighting. We really need a goddamn... we really need an Oliver Stone movie in wrestling now? This is fucking infuriating. Like, if this happened on TNA, granted, it's better. But this is kind of the same thing that happened in TNA.
Actually, I'm half expecting this to happen in TNA. And actually,
they're going to rip it off.
I would love to see that in TNA.
That's going to be the fear. They're probably going to rip this angle off, knowing the booking staff they got there. And that's my fear. But okay,
this would have no confidence in Dixie Carter. Bring back Hulk Hogan. Okay, I just realized how they're going to fuck that up.
Yeah, kind of thing. If they would have done this in TNA, it would have been shitty and poorly executed and an even bigger waste of our time, possibly less wrestling. In this, it's just like, okay, they got things going. They did tell it at a pace, but do we really need to avoid that much time to it? No. Do we really need to have an overcomplicated story? No.
No. John, here's how you do this. John Laurinaitis is working behind the scenes to undermine Triple H. Oh my God! There you go.
Great. Now
John Laurinaitis, and in fact, that's what's going on. It's just being drawn out. Interesting to note, as everybody left before Lawler is the first to leave. Michael Cole follows Jerry's lead, which is interesting if you have a memory longer than a goldfish, and the expression on his face was just great. It ends with Triple H going just standing alone in the ring.
Fine, I'll find other people to book for.
Yes. Believe it or not, they're conspicuous with their absences. John Cena, CM Punk, Randy Orton, Eve Torres and Kelly Kelly. Very conspicuous.
Ooh. Oh, wait, I don't care.
All right. So, that's Raw. Interesting.
Yeah, the best thing that could be said about it, the awesome things that were on there, were distracted by the plot. And it wasn't even about the matches or the... They did make it about the wrestlers in some sense, in the case of the story, but they didn't make it more about the matches, which were good. They made it more about this story. And do we really need to devote that much time to the story is basically what's the most infuriating thing to me.
Well, here's how I feel about it. I think so long as the wrestling quality doesn't suffer because of the story, I don't really mind all that much. Now, granted, this is one of those stories where I don't necessarily care, so I'm kind of conflicted, but if they keep this up and they can find some way to make me care somewhere along the way, I'm not going to have too many problems with it.
Right, like, I wouldn't have sentiments against it. Like, if this pulls off and this does something unexpected, I will give it its due and be like, okay, that was worth our time. But
unfortunately,
I don't have hope, and the quality of the matches are still good, but you can argue, like, what is quality of the matches? The actual ring work, or would you actually have time on that, too? I kind of put time in there, too, like the emphasis. Like, I want these guys to actually have time to go on there. So to me, when you take time away from the matches to, like, further a plot line, that to me hinders the work of it. Although the wrestlers themselves working were fine.
Right. Okay. So that's Raw. It ends on a somber note of Triple H of standing in the standing in the ring all alone by himself.
Well, that was Raw.
Yeah.
So let's go on to SmackDown, where I just realized they're going to have to fucking figure out a way to figure this out.
Precisely.
You know, the way this is working out is SmackDown and Raw. Even though Triple H has done away with the brand separation, SmackDown's still its own corporate entity, if you would. Which is interesting. It opens up with a video package of what happened on Raw, and I'm actually loving the results I'm reading right now. Lords of Pain says, "Will this spread to SmackDown, or has the working relationship with Sci-Fi provided this show the technology to build a force field to protect itself from the chaos?" Fucking Lords of Pain.
And that's another argument. Like, oh, it's chaos in Raw, and we on SmackDown are outraged about that. It's like, you should be arguing there's chaos in the WWE in general.
No, it's just Raw, apparently.
So it's like, what makes SmackDown important? Why should even the stars bother to, like, show up on that and argue about this?
Right. So we have Teddy Long in his office on his phone talking to Triple H, and he tells him he won't let him down. Okay. In comes Zack Ryder asking if Triple H forgives him for walking out on Monday because, he was just following along with the crowd. And you know what? Triple H does not want to risk another walkout, so we won't be seeing Triple H tonight. And Teddy Long, as SmackDown General Manager, is in charge, like always. Again, and he says something about Raw's loss is SmackDown's gain for whatever reason. And, we go to the ring where Miss Vicky Guerrero is in the ring. Yay!
Oh, I'm actually stoked about Vicky, but I'm just quiet.
And apparently Christian is taking credit for the entire walkout idea.
It's just kind of fitting to his character being a Weasley little heel, so I imagine, like, his character would be like, I'm taking credit for that.
Yeah. Who's going to naysay me? It's interesting. I'll just be honest there. It's interesting to hear Christian go from, what he was to what he is now, and yeah.
I'm glad I'm going to stroke my ego for just a second, but I'm glad I called that whole, if he gets the title back, it's not going to mean anything because they're just going to take it away from him. I fucking called that.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Yep, I'm just gonna take a victory stretch. You go ahead with the show.
Right. This is a promo with the Disgruntled Six, as they're calling him. I don't know, Lords of Pain.
You think they're gonna give him T-shirts? Disgruntled Six.
I hope so. The Disgruntled Six.
And it's just in the back of the shirt. It's just them like frowning.
Basically, they're saying that Triple H's actions has fostered an unsafe working environment on Raw. He's the CEO of the fucking company.
And it's also it's a copy and paste thing. Everything the wrestlers complained about at the beginning of the show, these same people in the ring, copy and paste what they said on Raw, and essentially copy and paste the SmackDown script and readjust a few words, and you got the same thing.
Right. Basically, they're saying that unless Triple H steps down on Raw, I don't know exactly how he has authority only on Raw. You know what? I don't care. Like you, I don't care about this because it's dumb. If you walk out on Raw, why don't you walk out on SmackDown? Triple H has authority on both shows, no matter what he says.
But in a common sense thing too, when you think about the idea of a walkout, and you want to disrupt business or make your point, why didn't they walk out in the beginning of the show, ruin it, and then get to the point across exactly? Because that would have pissed off the boss. Now, common sense wise, we know we need a wrestling show, so I understand that. But way to walk out at the end of the show. That really proves your point that you're daring.
Right. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to work this out on Monday because obviously everybody is there, but it'll be interesting on Monday. But we're still in this promo. We get everybody in the room talking about. Alberto Del Rio comes out. Josh Matthews asks Booker and Cole why they walked out. Well, because Michael Cole is a fucking spineless, gutless coward, and Booker T
wants a paycheck.
Right, wants a paycheck. And so first of all, we have Christian taking credit for the walkout. Now we have Alberto Del Rio taking credit for the walkout.
Again, though, slimy peel, I expect them to take credit for things they didn't actually do. So it's not really like, oh, God, they took credit for it? Fuck this angle.
But then Teddy Long comes out and he says, if you guys keep talking, the next people who are going to walk out is the WWE Universe.
Well, this is where Teddy Long keeping it real comes in handy. If Teddy Long would just spoke his mind, he'd just be like, all right, I'm sick of your bitching. You either get to fighting or get to stepping. No, I'm not playing that shit. Do you see a full beard? No, this is Teddy Long. I got a hot chick who I don't know where it's from, and I don't speak her language, but I want to bang her in the back. So you guys shut the fuck up and stop cock blocking or leave. Get to stepping. Seriously, I'm not going to play. Go.
I love you, Magpie. I really do. When you're channeling your inner Long.
I wish I could do the voice. It would be fitting, but I'm not even going to try to do a shitty Teddy Long impersonation on the show.
So so Teddy Long basically makes the main event Sheamus and Randy Orton versus Christian and Cody. Great. I'm going to love that. But next, we have Alberto Del Rio versus Sin Cara.
And again, this is one of those matches where you just get. I like the idea that WWE is trying to do, even though they're using the same people. Just they want to keep using the same people who have the same chemistry. Danielson, Del Rio, and then Sin Cara, Del Rio. I do like the idea that they're picking out opponents to take it to Limit to the Champions at random. I wish they would do more people, but good person to get it against Del Rio. Oh yeah, god damn it! What point was I gonna make? I'm sorry, I'm kind of functioning out. I still have the raw headache.
I really don't know what to say.
It was a good match. I'm putting over the fact that I like the idea that WWE are picking opponents to take it to the champion. I wish they get more guys, but that's the other point I was going to make, though. Oh yeah,
it is what it is, man. That's all you can really say. Okay, it is what it is, and but we're gonna have our match. We got Alberto Del Rio versus Sin Cara Azul. you know, the Sin Cara that we originally got,
or Blue Lantern Cara, depending on what you want to call him.
Right, and we actually haven't. Well, I have not seen Alberto Del Rio and Sin Cara have a bad match.
Oh no!
Let's just put it like that, okay?
Before my incoherent babbling, I was going to put over the fact these guys have good chemistry together, and I really like that. I mean,
right.
You put these guys together, you're not going to get a bad match. You're always going to watch something that's very palatable or good.
Yes. Alberto Del Rio wins with the cross arm breaker.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I know. I know. It was a very dumb spot. As Alberto and Ricardo. Hey, Ricardo's back, everybody. Did you miss him? I sure as hell didn't.
Wait, when did we start hitting on Ricardo? He's awesome.
Right. As they go to the back, Sin Cara Negro shows up. So he attacks Sin Cara Azul, and
they're still feuding.
They're still feuding. This is not at an end, but at least we can tell them apart. So
okay. And if they have if they keep like this feud up and it's interesting and they keep it simple where it's just, oh, he's taking my stomach and he's evil and I'm good and I have to defeat him. If they keep it that simple and they have good, and it equals to good matches, I have no problem with this.
Yeah, you need it.
So we actually they go to the announce desk, and Michael Cole, with no trace of irony or hypocrisy, basically says he walked out of Raw because Triple H dropped the ball and that his ego is getting out of control. And he's not listening to people.
Sound familiar?
Hey, Michael Cole, how shiny is that mirror? And Booker T walked out because he thought the show was over and that he was going to the bathroom.
Oh, God!
Hilarity! It's hilarious, isn't it, War Machine?
Don't irk him. The last thing we need to do is get him mad.
Booker, why you do this?
We then go to the back where my former pick base, Matt Stryker, is interviewing Air Boom. And I will say that every time Matt Stryker is on screen. God damn it. And they basically walked out because it's too chaotic on Raw. You're paid to fight! Fight! So we have a match. Our second match is Air Boom versus
Swagger. You know his name.
No, I'm trying to come up with the team of Excuse Me. That's
that one's not bad.
It's the team of Excuse Me, and they as the tag champs are coming out, they get ambushed, and I don't have to tell you guys what happens next. It's the story is the attack really threw the champs off their game, and Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler win.
Although for heel thing, with Swagger and Ziggler, that's something I expect them to do as heels, and they did that well. And again, I like how they're picking opponents for these guys to face as the tag team champions. I like how they're getting opponents, and this is a tag team. Like, if they book this match on the pay-per-view, I'd be stoked to see it.
Right. However, now as we know, they during their little pre-match promo, they said it's too chaotic on Raw. And on SmackDown, the match basically dwells into chaos after the match. Anyways, Booker and Cole wonders where Teddy Long is and blah, 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 blah. I don't care. We go to commercial. We come back for Monday night's Kelly going crazy on Beth Phoenix again, because in case you wanted to see it again, Yeah. We have Beth Phoenix with Natalya versus Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox loses. I'm happy. Next match.
Well, after the match, Natalya puts Alicia in that weird ass, that nice leg submission, and Beth gets on the mic and is like, "I want to hear some screams. Cry for me, Alicia. Cry for me," and she does.
Which would have been a good thing to do for these two, but they should have done this at a later part, like when they were debuting and they started torturing divas. Wouldn't that have been a good way to put them over as like the monster heels?
Yeah, maybe they should have done this at the start instead of having Beth Phoenix lose to Kelly 3 different times, and then eventually win the title due to shenanigans. Michael Cole goes, "Now Teddy Long is losing control. What's going on? There shouldn't be all these ostriches here. There's too many ostriches. The brochure said there'd be a few. This is terribly misleading." That's my Don Knotts impression for the week. And silence.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you have it. What was the next match?
This is where we got... Next match, actually, this is where we got the return of the Big Show. Which, yeah, that's the reaction I felt like, yay. I don't have anything against the Big Show, but I actually like him, but... Okay, when he was gone, I didn't exactly, miss him.
No, I did not either.
Had I not seen him get injured, I probably wouldn't have even known he was gone.
Yeah, it really was,
It's not to say that he's awful, it's just, what else can you really do with the guy, other than put other stars over? If this feud... Okay, the whole gist of it is Big Show returns, thanks to fans for, oh, you always been great, I'm glad to get this reaction, and I'm always good to... I'm not against Big Show getting reactions. I like him getting all the positivity he can, because that guy's good.
Right.
But essentially this leads to, I want Mark Henry, I'm pissed because he took out my leg.
Right. That is actual freaking motivation, which is more than I can say about other times when people go after people for no reason. Hey, look, Big Show's got a reason. Hey, he can also go for the title to make it even sweeter.
Yes, it's simple storylines like that I want in my wrestling. I don't mind the bigger stories, so long as they go someplace and they tell the stories appropriately and there's match time. But the simple feuds are always the ones that are just gonna, the ones I'm gonna like the best and ones that are gonna stick out the most.
Right. So
again, but that said, though, even though they're booking this one good, I'm pissed off. You put me out. You have a title now, so not only am I going to kick your ass, but I'm going to take your pride away, that belt. They're booking that right.
Yeah.
Does anybody, giving that credit, though, does anybody really want to see a world title match with Mark Henry versus Big Show?
Yes.
No, I mean, if he was fighting a more mobile opponent, I had no problems with Mark Henry or Sheamus. Granted, I think Sheamus can get better out of another opponent, but I had no problem with that match because Sheamus is a more mobile contender or opponent. So Sheamus could do more impressive stuff while Henry just be the big lumbering dude. I don't want to see two big forces just plopping against each other during matches. I'd rather see somebody who's it was interesting to see Morrison fight that guy. Let's put him in the title position because granted, the Big Show has a gripe, so I'm not saying, let's do a redo. But what I'm saying is, Morrison is a guy that has a completely different move stance and set of logic to his matches against, Mark Henry. So that's good. I get to see a big lumbering hero go up against this guy.
I said it last night during the Impact review. I actually like to see big guys, power guys, go up against each other because it's very satisfying to me to watch power versus power and see where these goes.
Right.
I will agree with you that I do wish Big Show was a lot more mobile. Unfortunately, he is getting up there in years. So was Mark Henry. But yeah. I think this is actually going to be a decent match if you just let the two of them beat the holy hell out of each other.
Yeah, if it's played right, it could be a good match.
Right.
If it's a match I want to see, no. But if they could just play it right, I'd be happy with that.
Right. And again, storyline, keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Quick question. does anyone in here know where the second part of the Joker riddle is in Arkham Asylum?
Comment below on the YouTube responses for an answer.
Yes.
It may get read on the show next week.
Okay, Joker riddle? Wait, which riddle are we talking about here?
We're talking. Okay, so it's in the sanitarium, and you know those.
I thought, we put Arkham Asylum in your wrestling shows so you can Arkham Asylum while you wrestle.
That makes no sense, but okay. We'll go to the back where Matt Stryker's with Randy Orton, and it's basically Matt Stryker asks, "Hey Randy, do you think you deserve a rematch?" And he's like, "No, I'm not like Christian."
Hey War Machine, do you think Arkham City is going to be better than Arkham Asylum? I think it's going to be.
Do you really not want to talk about a Randy Orton promo?
Yeah, no.
I don't.
I like Orton, I'll be honest, but I never ever want to talk about his promos. So
I like him in the ring, but I'm kind of sick of him as of late.
It was short, so it was that is what it's got going for it. Oh god, a zombie's in here, by the way. Yes, the zombie from ECW has arrived.
No talking.
Okay. Yes. So basically, Stryker also asked Randy why he was not there for the Great Raw for the walkout, and Randy basically said, if I have a problem with Triple H, I'm not going to walk out. I'm not going to follow the group. I'm just going to beat the holy hell out of him.
And I actually like that part of the promo because that's something a wrestler should say.
Yeah, that's
something that I believe Randy Orton would say.
Well, and in terms of character, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
because
right, it does. It's Randy Orton.
Go ahead.
It's Randy Orton. When he gets pissed,
he hits something.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't do board meetings. He doesn't play. He beats the shit out of you.
Except when he's a heel. But then he will hit something and then whine about it.
Right. So after that, he also is asked about is it going to affect his partnership with Sheamus, and it's like, no, it's a face. It's going to be worse for Cody and Christian, which is okay because I like seeing that. Next up, we have a Jinder Mahal versus Ezekiel Jackson match.
So I was watching. I finally saw the trailer for Dr. Freeze showing up in Arkham City. That was fucking awesome, man.
I know.
Right? I mean, I'm not totally sold on the suit, but then again, nothing in the Arkham Batman series has disappointed me.
Yeah, and it has that feel of the animated show, like that whole they got the voice actor, which was perfect, and then that dialogue. You ever watch something die? I actually cried up. It was great. Oh, Jinder Mahal loses, and we go to the next segment.
Yeah.
Right. We actually have Teddy Long in his office. And we hear a knock on the door, and he thinks it's Oksana. Instead, it's Johnny Ace.
Boo.
Can I play Teddy Long Keeps It Real?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Please do.
Look, unless you're going to start speaking a language I can't understand, get the fuck out of my office. I don't have time to talk to you.
Nicely done.
I think
whatever you were going to say would totally bury I would totally bury you with what I just did.
I don't want to know what goes through her head sometimes, everybody.
I did Johnny Ace's voice talking as Oksana offering you a massage.
Oh, that's not creepy at all. John Laurinaitis is basically is going to update Teddy Long on what happened on Monday. Teddy Long keeping it real. What do you have to say to that?
Motherfucker, I saw the show. It was pre-taped. I had 5 days to watch the show. I was watching the show and I was giving it doggy style to a girl whose name I don't know.
Okay, relax, dude. My door's open.
Okay. But Teddy Long, I just want you to know that you're still an employee, and I hope you're a loyal servant to the company like I am. But I just want you to know you've got to keep control of SmackDown, because if you don't, the entire WWE.
All right, let me tell you something, Johnny Ace. You tell me to keep control of my show, I'll tell you to keep control of your teeth, because I'm about to knock every single one out of them, you funny talking idiot.
Oh, you flubbed on the last part.
Damn it. It's
Yeah,
this
just a
stupid
little bit.
stammer I have.
It's okay, man. We go back to the ring, and I don't know. I guess this actually made it to air. I kind of skipped over this by, walking a dog. Booker T and Hornswoggle did spinneroonies. I have nothing
Next
to
part
say.
of the show.
This is our main event.
Actually, no, I'll comment on that. Because
Okay.
when that was going on, I walked to the liquor store to pick up a bottle of Jameson, coincidentally enough. And I went to go pick up a bottle of Jameson. They're watching SmackDown. And if we have a quick conversation about wrestling, and they bring up their gripes about, I don't know, man, it's casual wrestling fan, so I don't like it anymore. I mean, it's just too for little kids. I'm like, don't worry, man, it's on to turn around. Things are still good, and there's awesome people like Cody Rhodes and Daniel Bryan and Miz and R-Truth, and I named off a lot of wrestlers I liked. That's when the segment played on their liquor store TV that they were watching. And then they looked back at me as that segment was playing, and I'm like, okay, it still has stupid shit like that, but it's on the turnaround, I swear.
Nice. Okay, so we come back from that. We get with a awesome tag match with Christian and Cody Rhodes taking on Randy Orton and Sheamus. You know what? I actually like this match.
I had no problem with it.
Yeah,
I
me
mean,
neither.
Cody and Christian
They're guys I legitimately like.
Yeah.
And Sheamus I never used to like, but he improved.
Sheamus has come
I
into
like him.
Sheamus has come into his own.
Oh, fuck yeah.
As a face. I mean, I like his work. I liked his work as a smash mouth in your face heel. But now that he's a smash mouth in your face, it works.
Yeah, I have no problem with him getting a world title right now, and he's not green as grass as he used to be.
No, he's actually pretty comfortable in the ring. Winner is Randy Orton and Sheamus with an RKO from Orton on Christian. No, yeah, on Christian or Cody Rhodes. I can't remember which. And Michael Cole, Michael Cole asks what's going to happen on Monday, and Booker's wondering if we're going to get the scabs on Monday. If this leads to the entire roster for FCW coming up and working on Raw,
I'm all for it.
I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna be with the fact that we still have Randy, Punk, Cena can still work on Raw because they never walked out.
No, I'm all for that, actually. If they did that and got the FCW guys, they got John Morley, Claudio's there now, and they got Tyler Black. Fucking A. I hope that happens now.
Also, I'm hearing rumors that Chris Hero has signed with the WWE.
Cool. Good for him.
So we may have the Kings of Wrestling in there.
Hey now.
Cool. I mean, I'd be stoked to see it. I'm not going to be one of those indie fans who just thinks they should deserve it. Well, okay, I do on the basis of the wrestling skills and time they put in, but, WWE, you go there, you rebuild yourself. But I'm cool to see them in there just because I really like those guys and to see them work their way, get to that point. Good for them. So I'm not going to play the indie fan. They're going to be immediately buried right away. I had that fear, but I'm glad they got there.
Well, look at Daniel Bryan. I'm not really sure he's getting buried right now. I really don't think that. I think he's fine the way he is. He's going to get his world title shot. He's going to win it because everybody else who's cashed in Money in the Bank, even those who have announced it beforehand, Rob Van Dam, went on to win it. So I'm confident they're going to put the strap on Daniel Bryan. But we still have one more segment. Mark Henry comes out and basically tells Big Show, no world title. I don't fear you. I'm strong, and you know what, Big Show, you don't get it. And out comes Big Show.
He just ran out there.
He runs out there.
That's the fastest I've seen him move in a while.
I know. He destroys anything in his way, including Mark Henry, TNA Vacation, TNA Security, just basically everybody who gets in his way. Anybody who gets in. Yeah.
Do you think? Sorry to stop you on this point, but do you think TNA security guys just secretly dream like one day I'm gonna be a WWE security guy, and then the world's gonna respect me?
I think so. Mark Henry gets the upper hand on Big Show for a second, and he gets chokeslammed through the announce table. And Big Show then grabs a chair, puts it on Henry's ankle, and grabs the ring steps, and is about to splash down on the leg. This brings out Teddy Long. And Teddy Long says, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know what? I'm sorry. Magpie, keeping it real, Teddy Long.
Now I appreciate you two beating the shit out of each other, because quite frankly, one of you roster mates being dead is going to make my job easier, but you want a title shot, go right ahead and take it.
Just don't, break Mark Henry's leg. And Big Show's like, okay. Grabs the chair and smacks Henry across the back with it. I'll be done. I'll finish this when I win the World Heavyweight Championship. And scene.
I have to say, Magpie, you tend to stammer a lot, and I don't make fun of you for that because it appears as though it's a medical condition. But when you're pretending to be Teddy Long, I don't think I've ever heard you speak clearer.
Yeah, I've got to say that. So that's SmackDown, everybody. Final thoughts, as coming off of what happened on Raw, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all.
It's one of those things we've said like many times. I've said it, you've said it, No Leaf said it, people aren't on the show said it anymore. SmackDown usually is the better show. Or if Raw left a bad taste in your mouth, SmackDown was just a nice other snack that you got that helped you.
Yeah, it will cleanse that.
It will cleanse the palate. That's what I meant to say in a roundabout way.
It's a palate cleanser. Little bits like the whole Michael Cole and Booker T asking, "Where's Teddy Long?" Bitch, you don't ask where Teddy Long is.
Teddy Long asks where he is. You don't ask where Teddy Long is. He asks where you are.
Damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
You took it from me. I was just about to say that.
Teddy Long's my character.
But, again, it was good. Was it as chaotic as Raw? Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
But SmackDown doesn't count as the WWE, so it's chaotic on Raw.
It's chaotic on Raw, but on SmackDown it's okay. Anybody else got any final thoughts?
No, not really.
I wish I could find out a way how I speak clearly when I do Teddy, but not when I actually speak.
It's just a confidence thing. Okay,
I need to crack that code.
So what's getting more screen time than who?
Zack Ryder?
No, he got screen time.
Shelton Benjamin.
Okay, there we go. What gets more?
Nope. ROH tag champion. He gets screen time in this company. Someone else.
Daniel Bryan? No, he got screen time. Fuck, we can't say that because everybody got screen time this week.
Whoa.
William Regal? No, he was there.
No, he got screen time.
I guess we're gonna have to use Yoshi fucking Tatsu.
Got screen time.
Get out! How?
He was in the big Raw walkout.
All right, you know what? I got something. What got more screen time than the dark match?
Okay, there we go. Wait a second here. Anyways, what gets more screen time than the dark match? Because because everybody got screen time this week. What gets more screen time than the dark match? Michael Cole looking grimly determined.
All right, fair enough. Batman got more screen time than the dark match this week.
Yeah, based on all those commercials for Arkham City, which you can pick up at fine retailers everywhere in...
We can't say them. We'll get sued.
Oh, that's right. That's why I said fine retailers.
That's cutting it too close.
Yeah, you're right.
Who got more screen time than the dark match? Vin Diesel. Because they had to promote Fast 5 coming out.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. I did not mention it, but they did show the deleted scene from Fast 5 that tells you nothing.
Go pick up Fast 5. Seriously.
Literally.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is actually decent. it's better than Tokyo Drift.
Well, okay.
My stool's better than Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, that's not that great of a comparison. It was a fun ride, decent movie. Just turn your brain off while you're watching it. You'll enjoy it. Vin Diesel versus The Rock is maybe the greatest thing in the history of ever. It's almost as good as Johnny Cash covering Rusty Cage by Soundgarden.
Or Hurt by Nine Inch Nails.
No, Rusty Cage.
Jesus by Depeche Mode.
Rusty Cage is better. Anyways.
Yeah,
thanks for listening.
I'm for the Dark Match. I'm Ironbite.
I'm Magpie, and I just listened to Iron Bite Taco for War Machine.
Again.
I'm Mr. War Machine, and I'm about to kill Ironbite.
Hold him down, I'll punch him.
I'll be back. In fact, I'll be back for Bound for Glory.
Fuck. So am I.
Gotta review that. Oh shit, I didn't even think about that. I gotta review that. Oh my god.
Don't worry. There's a huge chance it's gonna be a clusterfuck. So we're all gonna have to suffer.
On my neck.
You know what? Good night and good luck. Play the theme song while we all go get brain bleach.
Don't point your face.
Do not want.